What if today was the day you decided to be the best version of yourself? What if your entire life can be changed in one moment of courage? Change doesn't need to be gradual. It can happen in an instant if you're brave enough to take control of your life. Every day is a new chance. If you don't like where you are, you can choose to start changing your life from here. What if I told you that you have the power to change everything in just one day? It doesn't matter where you're at right now or how hard things may seem. You have the ability to turn things around. Too many people get stuck thinking they need weeks, months, or even years to make a real change in their life. But what if I told you that one day can be all it takes? Imagine waking up tomorrow with a fresh mindset, ready to take on your challenges head first. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that your whole life can be different with the right decisions and actions. It's not about waiting for things to fall into place. It's about making today the day you start taking control. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to take control and make today the day that changes everything. Stick around, because this is the start of something big. Now let's dive in. Number 1, take control of your mindset and take action today. Change doesn't happen by accident. You don't wake up one day and find that your life is suddenly where you want it to be. Change doesn't knock on your door and say, "Hey, I'm here. Ready to make your life better?" No, that's not how it works. Change starts with you. It starts when you make a decision. A decision to do things differently. A decision to stop accepting the life you've been living. And a decision to take control. You can't keep waiting for things to improve on their own. If you want your life to change, you need to take charge right now. Today, it all begins with your mindset. What you believe about yourself and the world shapes everything. It shapes how you act, how you respond to challenges, and how you see opportunities. If your mindset is stuck in a negative loop, then your life will reflect that. If you believe you can't change, you won't. If you believe you don't deserve more, you won't get more. But when you make the decision to change your mindset, when you make the conscious choice to think differently, everything begins to shift. You start seeing new possibilities, new opportunities, and new ways of doing things. But that change starts with you and the way you think. We often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of negativity. We tell ourselves things like, "I can't do this. I'm not good enough." Or, "This is just the way my life is." These thoughts control us. They dictate how we approach our goals, our relationships, and our future. But here's the truth. You have the power to control your thoughts. No one else can control them. The moment you realize that, you unlock the ability to change everything. No one is going to change your life for you. You have to take that responsibility. And it begins with how you think about yourself and your potential. Taking control of your mindset is the first step toward making lasting change. But here's the thing. You can have the best mindset in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing will happen. Action is where the rubber meets the road. It's where your thoughts turn into reality. And without action, everything stays in your head. You can sit and plan all you want, but if you don't take that first step, you're going nowhere. You have to move. When you start taking action, things begin to fall into place. The universe responds to action. It might not always happen the way you expect, but it always happens in the right way. You can't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is today. The perfect moment is now. The perfect moment is when you decide to act. And that decision, that action, is what sets the course for the rest of your life. But I know what you're thinking. "Jim, I don't know where to start. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what the next step is." Let me tell you something. Nobody knows exactly where they're going in the beginning. Nobody has a clear path laid out. The key is to just start. Take one small step. Don't worry about getting everything perfect. Don't worry about knowing exactly where you're going. Just take the first step and the next one will follow. Over time, as you continue taking action, things will begin to clarify. The path will become clearer and you'll start seeing the results of your efforts. But it all starts with that first step. There's something that often holds us back from taking action. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of the unknown. And here's the truth. Fear is normal. It's a part of the process. If you're not afraid, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. It happens when you push through fear and take action anyway. Fear isn't something to avoid. It's something to embrace. It's a signal that you're about to do something that will make you grow. It's a sign that you're on the right track. If you want to change your life, You need to stop letting fear control you. You need to understand that fear is temporary, but the results of your actions will last a lifetime. You will never grow by staying in your comfort zone. You will never change by avoiding discomfort. Embrace the discomfort. Embrace the fear. And take action anyway. It's not going to be easy. There will be challenges. There will be times when you question whether it's worth it. There will be moments when you want to give up. But I promise you this. Every time you push through those moments, every time you keep going when things get tough, you will grow. You will become stronger. You will become better. And you will get closer to the life you want to live. But you can't stop. You can't give up. You have to keep going. Here's the thing. Success is not reserved for a select few. Success is not for the lucky ones or the talented ones. Success is for the ones who keep going, no matter how hard it gets. It's for the ones who refuse to give up, even when the odds are against them. It's for the ones who take control of their mindset and take action day after day, no matter what. If you want success, if you want to change your life, you have to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. You have to push yourself harder than anyone else is willing to push. And when you do that, when you take consistent action, success will find you. Now, I want you to think about where you are in your life right now. Are you happy with where you are? Are you satisfied with what you've achieved? Or are there things you want to change? Are there dreams you've put on the back burner? Are there goals you've been too afraid to pursue? It's time to get real with yourself. It's time to stop pretending that you're okay with where you are if you're not. You can change. You can achieve the life you've always dreamed of. But it starts with you. You have to take control. You have to own your decisions. You have to take responsibility for your life. No one else can do it for you. The moment you realize that, the moment you understand that you are the one who is responsible for your future, everything begins to shift. You stop blaming your circumstances. You stop blaming other people. You take full responsibility for your life, and that's when real change happens. Number 2, make discipline your strongest ally. Discipline is the true foundation of success. Without it, all your goals, dreams, and desires remain distant. Discipline is what keeps you focused, pushing forward even when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's the drive that forces you to do what needs to be done when you don't feel like doing it. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is constant. It's the unsung hero that ensures you stay on track, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. The problem with relying on motivation is that it's fleeting. Some days you'll feel like you can conquer the world, while other days you'll struggle just to get out of bed. That's why discipline is the game changer. It doesn't rely on feelings. It's about doing what you need to do, regardless of how you feel. Think about the successful people you admire. They didn't get there by waiting for the perfect moment. They didn't rely on feeling inspired every day. They got there because they understood one simple truth. Success requires consistent effort. They built habits of discipline that became ingrained in their daily lives. Whether it's waking up early, staying focused on long-term goals, or making sacrifices in the short term, discipline shapes your future. The small everyday actions you take, the ones that seem insignificant at the time, are what compound into massive success. If you can make discipline your ally, there's no limit to what you can achieve. However, discipline isn't just about doing the big things. It's about mastering the small tasks as well. It's the little habits that often determine whether you succeed or fail. You might think that skipping one workout won't hurt, or putting off one task won't matter. But it does. Over time, these small acts of inconsistency add up. If you're not disciplined enough to stay on track with the little things, how can you expect to succeed with the bigger goals? Discipline teaches you that success isn't a one-time event. It's the culmination of 1,000 small, consistent actions. It's about developing the mindset that no task is too small to be done properly. One of the hardest things about building discipline is overcoming distractions. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, entertainment, and even your own thoughts can derail your focus. But when you develop discipline, you learn how to block out these distractions. You become aware of when your mind starts to wander and when you need to refocus. This is a skill that takes time to develop. It's not easy, and it's something you have to actively work on every day. The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes to stay focused on your goals, no matter what life throws your way. To make discipline your strongest ally, you need to understand the power of delayed gratification. We live in a world where instant results are expected, where we can get what we want with the click of a button. But true success doesn't come instantly. It comes from putting in the work now for the rewards later. Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the temptation of immediate pleasure in exchange for something greater in the future. It's the ability to choose long-term gains over short-term satisfaction. This is where discipline comes in. It's about saying no to distractions and short-term pleasures so that you can stay focused on the bigger picture. The more you practice delayed gratification, the stronger your discipline becomes. Building discipline requires sacrifice. You'll have to give up certain comforts and pleasures in order to stay on track. You'll have to make tough decisions that others aren't willing to make. This is where many people fail. They expect success without sacrifice. They want the rewards without putting in the work. But it doesn't work that way. Discipline is built through sacrifice. It's about choosing the harder path, the one that requires effort and discomfort. The good news is that the more you sacrifice for your goals, the more rewarding the outcome will be. Discipline creates the foundation for long-term success, and that foundation is built on the willingness to sacrifice now for a better tomorrow. Discipline isn't just about self-control. It's also about building a routine that supports your goals. You need to create systems in your life that make discipline easier. This could mean waking up at the same time every day, planning your tasks in advance, or eliminating distractions from your environment. The key is consistency. The more you stick to a routine, the more disciplined you become. Your brain starts to associate certain actions with certain times of the day, making it easier to stay on track. A solid routine doesn't give you room to make excuses. It removes the mental burden of decision-making and replaces it with automatic disciplined actions. But even with the best routine and the most discipline, you'll still face setbacks. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. You might miss a deadline, lose focus for a while, or encounter challenges that feel impossible to overcome. But this is where discipline truly shines. Discipline is about getting back on track no matter how many times you fall off. It's about not letting failure stop you from pushing forward. It's about understanding that mistakes are a part of the process, and the key is to keep going. With discipline, you turn failure into learning. You don't let it define you. You use it to grow stronger. Another key element of discipline is accountability. It's easy to slack off when no one is watching, but when you hold yourself accountable, when you set clear expectations for yourself, it becomes harder to make excuses. Accountability can come in many forms: tracking your progress, setting goals, or even having someone to check in with. The important thing is that you hold yourself responsible for your actions, and you don't allow yourself to let things slide. You set the standard for your life, and you meet that standard every single day. One of the best ways to build discipline is by starting small. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything at once. Focus on one habit or one goal at a time. As you succeed with small tasks, you build momentum. This momentum makes it easier to tackle bigger challenges. Discipline doesn't happen overnight, but every small step forward is a victory. Don't underestimate the power of taking small actions every day. Over time, they compound into significant results. When you make discipline your strongest ally, you begin to realize that you are in control. You are the one who decides how your day goes, how your life goes. You get to choose what you do with your time and how you respond to challenges. Discipline allows you to take control of your life and steer it in the direction you want to go. It's not about waiting for someone else to motivate you. It's about deciding for yourself that you are worthy of success and willing to put in the effort to make it happen. Number 3, challenge yourself to be better each day. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to challenge yourself every single day. Comfort zones are where growth goes to die. The moment you get too comfortable, you stop improving, you stop pushing, and you start settling. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort requires effort. Challenge yourself to be better, not tomorrow, but today. Don't wait for the perfect time, because it never comes. The perfect time is now. Each day is a new opportunity to be better than you were the day before. Small improvements add up. They create momentum that drives you forward. You don't have to make huge leaps. Just take one step forward, even on the hard days. When you push yourself daily, you build resilience. Life is full of challenges, but the more you face, the more you learn how to overcome. It's easy to quit when things get tough. But if you keep pushing, you develop the strength to keep going. The greatest achievements come from overcoming the hardest obstacles. It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Each challenge teaches you something new about your own abilities. You don't get better by avoiding difficulty. You get better by facing it head on. The key to daily growth is consistency. It's not about doing something extraordinary every day, but about making the effort to improve even in the smallest ways. Focus on progress, not perfection. Each day is a chance to be better than yesterday, and that consistent effort compounds over time. You might not see immediate results, but keep going. Keep challenging yourself. The results will come, but only if you put in the work every day. You have to trust the process and know that the work you do now will pay off later. Success isn't handed to you. It's earned through the relentless pursuit of improvement. You can't expect to achieve anything meaningful by being complacent. Challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone. Challenge yourself to work harder, think smarter, and push further. The easy path leads to mediocrity. The hard path, though filled with struggle, leads to greatness. Every day that you challenge yourself, you separate yourself from the average. You create a future that others can only dream of. This is how you win. Your mindset plays a huge role in how much you grow. If you see challenges as obstacles, you'll always feel defeated. But if you see challenges as opportunities to grow, you will constantly evolve. Your mindset is the difference between quitting and pushing through. When you choose to see every challenge as a way to get better, you make progress without even realizing it. A growth mindset shifts your entire perspective on life. You don't let failures define you. You let them refine you. Every challenge becomes a lesson in resilience, determination, and personal strength. Don't compare your progress to others. The only competition that matters is with the person you were yesterday. It's easy to look at someone else's success and feel discouraged, but your journey is unique. Everyone has their own timeline. Challenge yourself to improve at your own pace without getting distracted by what others are doing. The only thing that matters is that you're better today than you were yesterday. Focus on your growth, your challenges, and your wins. Discipline is what allows you to challenge yourself daily. Without discipline, the drive to improve fades quickly. Discipline keeps you on track when the motivation runs out. It forces you to take action even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the backbone of consistent progress. It turns effort into habit and habit into success. By challenging yourself every day, you develop the discipline to keep going even when it gets tough. You don't wait for motivation. You make progress with or without it. Set daily goals that push you to improve. These goals don't need to be monumental. They just need to be enough to challenge you. Whether it's reading a chapter, finishing a workout, or learning something new, setting goals keeps you focused. When you accomplish these small goals, you build confidence. Each goal you meet becomes proof that you are capable of more. Don't just set goals. Make sure they push you to become better. Stretch your limits, even if just a little bit each day. This is how you build strength, both mentally and physically. One of the hardest parts of challenging yourself daily is dealing with failure. But failure is just feedback. It's not the end. Every failure teaches you something valuable. You learn what doesn't work, and you refine your approach. Without failure, there's no growth. Every setback you face is an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. Don't shy away from failure. Embrace it. Challenge yourself to fail forward. Every mistake is just a stepping stone on the path to success. It's easy to get discouraged when progress seems slow, but slow progress is still progress. Remember that success doesn't happen overnight. The key is persistence. Keep pushing even when you can't see the results right away. The more you challenge yourself, the closer you get to your goals. Success is a long game, and every day you challenge yourself, you get closer to winning it. Number 4, set high standards and raise the bar. If you want to achieve greatness, you need to set high standards for yourself. High standards aren't just about aiming for success. They are about pushing yourself to be the best you can possibly be. When you set the bar high, you force yourself to rise to meet it. It's easy to settle for mediocrity when you don't hold yourself accountable to a higher standard. But greatness doesn't come from doing just enough. It comes from giving everything you have and then some. If you settle for less, you will never know what you're truly capable of. The standards you set for yourself shape your reality. When you expect more, you work harder. When you hold yourself to a higher level of accountability, you get better results. Your habits, your mindset, and your actions all follow the standards you set. So start setting high expectations for yourself. Don't let complacency creep in. Don't let yourself off the hook when things get tough. If you want success, You have to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Raise the bar and challenge yourself to meet it every single day. Raising the bar requires discipline. It means doing the things that others aren't willing to do. It means staying focused when distractions come your way. It means pushing through the pain when it's easier to give up. If you want to live a life of excellence, you can't afford to lower your standards just to make things easier. You must constantly raise the bar higher. It's the only way to grow, to improve, and to push yourself to new heights. The moment you lower your standards, you start to plateau. The moment you get comfortable, you stop evolving. Your standards should be a reflection of your vision, your goals, and your values. Don't base your standards on the average or what others expect from you. Instead, ask yourself, what is the highest version of myself? What is the person I want to become? What kind of impact do I want to have? These are the questions that should drive your standards. The higher you set your expectations, the greater your potential for achievement. Don't be afraid to aim high, even if it seems out of reach. Those are the goals that will push you beyond your limits. Raising the bar also means setting a standard of consistency. It's not about doing something great once in a while. It's about doing great things every day, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what turns high standards into tangible results. If you want to improve, you need to show up every day, put in the effort, and give your best. It's about building the habit of excellence, not just in the big moments, but in every single thing you do. When you raise the bar, you commit to showing up at your best, regardless of the circumstances. Don't let fear or self-doubt lower your standards. It's easy to let fear talk you out of aiming high, but every time you listen to that voice, you hold yourself back from your true potential. Fear doesn't serve you. It holds you back, keeps you small, and prevents you from achieving the greatness you are capable of. Instead of listening to fear, listen to your vision. Listen to your desire for success, your drive to push further, and your hunger for growth. You're capable of so much more than you think. Don't let fear convince you otherwise. Every time you raise the bar, you learn something new. You learn how to push through obstacles, how to persevere when it gets hard, and how to overcome self-imposed limitations. The more you challenge yourself, the stronger you become. You realize that the only thing that ever held you back was your own unwillingness to raise your standards. Once you do, you unlock new levels of performance, productivity, and potential. It's not just about personal achievement. Setting high standards also impacts how you interact with others. When you raise your own bar, you inspire those around you to do the same. You become a leader, a role model, and someone others look up to. People rise to the level of expectations set for them, whether you realize it or not. By raising your standards, you set a higher standard for everyone around you. You create an environment of growth, ambition, and excellence. You elevate yourself, and you elevate others. The path to raising the bar is not easy. It requires a relentless commitment to personal growth and an unwavering belief in your ability to achieve more. But the rewards are immense. The more you challenge yourself, the more you realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. The greatest rewards come to those who refuse to settle, those who always aim higher, and those who believe that they can always do better. When you set high standards, you don't just aim for success. You create the success you desire through relentless effort and discipline. When you raise the bar, you stop seeing failure as something to avoid and start seeing it as part of the journey. You understand that failure is a teacher, not a defeat. It's simply feedback that shows you where to adjust, where to push harder, and where to improve. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of settling. Be afraid of not reaching your full potential. Set a high standard, and when you fall short, get back up and aim higher. Every time you set the bar higher, you make progress. It's not about being perfect. It's about pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday. Raise the bar and give yourself permission to succeed at the highest level. Only then will you unlock your true potential. Keep raising your standards, keep aiming higher, and never settle for anything less than your best. You have it in you to achieve greatness. Number 5, take risks and embrace uncertainty. Taking risks is the first step towards achieving something extraordinary. If you keep playing it safe, you will never break free from the cycle of mediocrity. Success doesn't come to those who are afraid to take chances. It's the people who take risks, who embrace the unknown, who ultimately succeed. Uncertainty is uncomfortable, but it is where growth happens. The moment you stop fearing the unknown and start welcoming it, your world expands. Without taking risks, you'll remain stuck in the same place, stagnant, never reaching your full potential. When you take risks, you give yourself the opportunity to unlock doors you never thought possible. You can't predict the outcome, but that's exactly what makes it worthwhile. The most rewarding experiences in life come from stepping outside your comfort zone. When you face uncertainty head on, you build the resilience and confidence to handle whatever comes your way. Each risk you take teaches you something valuable, whether it leads to success or failure. It's not about the result, it's about what you learn along the way. Embracing uncertainty is essential to personal growth. The greatest accomplishments are never achieved by playing it safe. They're achieved by those who take the leap, unsure of what lies ahead, but knowing that the journey itself will shape them into something stronger. The fear of uncertainty will always be there, but the key is to not let it control you. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, take action now, even if you don't have all the answers. It's through taking risks that you begin to see opportunities you never noticed before. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to let go of the need for constant certainty. The need for control over every situation will keep you from reaching new heights. Let go of the fear of failure, because failure is simply part of the process. Every risk you take, even if it doesn't work out, brings you closer to your goal. It helps you build character, strength, and wisdom. And without those, you won't be ready for success when it comes. The fear of making mistakes holds many people back, but every risk you take, no matter how small, brings you one step closer to overcoming that fear. When you realize that failure is not the end, but a lesson to be learned, you begin to approach risks differently. It's no longer about avoiding mistakes. It's about embracing the challenge, learning from it, and improving yourself. Taking risks means you are taking control of your life. You stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen. Success is built on risk. If you want to build something meaningful, you can't avoid taking chances. You need to be willing to put yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, to make decisions that others wouldn't dare to make. The road to success is full of uncertainty, but it's also full of opportunity. The more risks you take, the more prepared you become for the unpredictable nature of life. Every step into the unknown is a step towards mastery. When you choose to embrace uncertainty, you are choosing to trust yourself. You are choosing to trust your ability to handle whatever comes your way, no matter how challenging. You stop waiting for permission, stop waiting for all the signs to be right, and you take action. Risk takers are not afraid of the unknown, because they know that they are the ones who have the power to shape their future. Uncertainty becomes an ally, not a foe. There is no growth without risk. Whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your relationships, everything that truly matters requires you to take chances. And yes, sometimes those chances will lead to failure, but that's where you find the real lessons. There's no such thing as real success without risk, because without risk, there's no reward. You can't play it safe and expect your life to change. You can't wait for everything to align perfectly. The moment you start embracing uncertainty is the moment you start taking control of your destiny. Risks aren't just about big, life-changing decisions. Every small risk you take in your day-to-day life builds your confidence and reinforces the mindset of growth. It's about challenging the status quo and refusing to settle. The more you embrace uncertainty, the more natural it becomes to take risks. Over time, you stop seeing them as threats and start seeing them as opportunities for growth and advancement. There will always be people who tell you not to take risks, who say it's too dangerous, too risky, or too uncertain. But those people are the ones who have settled for less, who are too afraid to step outside their comfort zones. The people who succeed in life are the ones who take chances and face uncertainty with courage. They are the ones who understand that life is not meant to be lived in the safety of comfort. It's meant to be lived boldly, with the courage to take risks and the wisdom to learn from them. So don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for the stars to align. Take risks now, no matter how scary it seems. Step into the unknown and watch how it transforms you. The path to success is full of uncertainty, and the only way forward is to embrace it. Take risks, learn from them, and trust that the discomfort you feel now will lead to something far greater in the future. Only then will you realize that uncertainty is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Number 6, never settle for less than your best. Never settling for less than your best means constantly pushing yourself to do better, to be better. It's about setting the highest standards for yourself and never allowing yourself to fall short. If you give less than your best, you're not only cheating yourself, but you're also wasting the potential within you. Mediocrity is easy. Greatness demands relentless effort. Striving for excellence is the only way to ensure that you're truly fulfilling your potential. The moments you give your best are the moments that matter most because they reflect who you truly are. It's easy to become comfortable with good enough, but comfort is the enemy of progress. When you settle, you stop growing. Every time you cut corners, you're telling yourself that average is acceptable, and that's the path to failure. Excellence doesn't come from doing just enough to get by. It comes from consistently putting in the hard work, pushing your limits, and refusing to accept anything less than the best you can offer. Your best may not always look perfect, but it should always be your maximum effort. Don't ever let anyone convince you that your best is too much or unnecessary. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. It's not about perfection. It's about growth and progress. Each time you give less than your best, you're telling yourself that you're not worth the effort. You're telling yourself that your dreams, your goals, and your potential don't deserve everything you have to give. This is your life, and you should demand the best from yourself every single day. Striving for excellence means pushing through the discomfort and the difficulty. It means showing up when you don't feel like it and giving more than what's required. When you choose to give your best, even in the most challenging situations, you build resilience. You set yourself apart from the masses who are willing to settle. Excellence is built in the moments when no one is watching, when you could easily take the easy route, but you don't. Your commitment to giving your best is what defines your success. When you refuse to settle, you create a standard that others will have to rise to meet. People respect those who refuse to compromise on their standards. They admire the ones who are relentless, who always push themselves to go beyond what's expected. You build a reputation for being someone who gives everything they've got, no matter the circumstances. This reputation doesn't come from doing what's easy. It comes from doing what's difficult and demanding. Every time you choose to settle, you lose a bit of the power within you. That's the moment you step away from the person you're capable of being. Don't confuse convenience with success. Just because something is easy doesn't mean it's right for you. When you settle for mediocrity, you stop challenging yourself. And when you stop challenging yourself, you stop evolving. The path to greatness is paved with effort, sacrifice, and the refusal to settle. You may not always feel like giving your best, and that's when your true character is tested. The difference between average and extraordinary lies in those moments of doubt, fatigue, and discouragement. It's in those times when you want to quit that you need to push harder. The difference between being good and being great is in your ability to rise above your excuses, your doubts, and your fears. When you refuse to settle, you tell the world you're here for something bigger than just getting by. Life will always try to pull you towards complacency, towards doing just enough to get by. But you were meant for more. You have greatness inside of you. And the only way to unleash that greatness is by refusing to settle for anything less than your best. No one else can decide what your best is. It's up to you to define it and to meet that standard every day. It's not about being perfect. It's about pushing your boundaries and striving for something bigger than what you think you're capable of. Excellence isn't an accident. It's the result of consistent effort, determination, and the willingness to give everything you've got every single day. When you refuse to settle, you create a mindset of resilience and perseverance that will carry you through the toughest of times. Your best doesn't always mean you'll win, but it does mean you'll always learn, grow, and evolve into someone who is capable of achieving greatness. Never settle for less than your best. Not because the world demands it, but because you owe it to yourself to be the best version of you. Excellence isn't a destination, it's a way of living. It's a mindset that says, I will always do my best because I know my potential is limitless. And when you live with that mindset, the possibilities are endless. The best version of you is waiting, and it's up to you to make the choice to reach for it. Number 7, be relentless in your pursuit of greatness. Being relentless in your pursuit of greatness isn't just a mindset. It's the foundation of everything you do. It means being unyielding, refusing to take no for an answer, and continuing to push forward, even when everything around you is trying to pull you back. Success doesn't come to those who wait for the right circumstances, for the perfect moment, or for the easiest path. It comes to those who relentlessly pursue it, regardless of the hurdles they face. Every setback, every failure, every obstacle you face is part of the process. Those who succeed are the ones who look at these challenges and say, I will overcome this. When you're relentless, you take control of your destiny. You don't let life decide for you. You decide your fate. You can't afford to be passive, to let things happen to you. You have to take action each and every day with unwavering determination. Relentlessness isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about getting up every time you fall and continuing the fight. Those who are relentless understand that the journey will be tough, that they will face failure, but they also understand that failure is part of success. Without failure, there is no growth. Without struggle, there is no strength. The road to greatness is not for the faint of heart. It's filled with obstacles that will challenge your strength, your willpower, and your determination. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when everything seems hopeless. But those are the moments that separate the winners from the losers. Those who are relentless don't quit when things get hard. They push through. They understand that the discomfort they feel today is just temporary, but the rewards of their relentless pursuit will last forever. It's about embracing the struggle, not running from it. In the world of greatness, comfort doesn't exist. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable, to stretch beyond your limits, and to challenge yourself every single day. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone, in the moments where you're faced with fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Relentless people see these moments as opportunities to grow stronger, to prove to themselves that they can overcome anything. They don't shy away from discomfort, they welcome it. The more discomfort you face, the more resilient you become. The more you push through, the closer you get to your goals. If you want to be truly relentless, you have to stop waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes. It's not enough to rely on motivation to get you through the tough days. What you need is discipline. Discipline will carry you through the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is what makes you show up even when you don't feel like it, even when the world seems against you. Discipline is what gets you out of bed at 5 a.m. to do the work, even though you're tired. Discipline is what allows you to keep pushing when you want to quit, to keep moving forward when you don't see immediate results. When you're relentless, discipline is your best friend. The pursuit of greatness isn't just about hard work, it's about smart work. Working hard without a clear purpose or plan can lead to burnout and frustration. Being relentless means working strategically, focusing on what matters most, and eliminating distractions that don't serve your goals. It means understanding that not all work is created equal. Some tasks will push you closer to your goal, while others will just waste your time. Relentless people know how to prioritize, how to focus on what moves the needle, and how to say no to things that don't align with their mission. Every successful person has faced adversity. It's not the adversity that defines them, but how they respond to it. When life throws a punch, you have two choices. You can fall down and stay down, or you can get back up and keep fighting. Relentless people choose to fight. They understand that every battle, no matter how hard, is an opportunity to grow stronger. They see each challenge as a stepping stone on their journey. They don't let setbacks define them. They use them as fuel to propel themselves forward. Every failure is just another lesson. Every loss is just another opportunity to come back stronger. One of the most powerful aspects of being relentless is the ability to maintain focus. Focus is what allows you to block out the noise, to ignore the distractions, and to keep your eyes on the prize. The world is full of distractions, people who try to pull you in different directions, entertainment that consumes your time, and negativity that tries to drag you down. Being relentless means not allowing these distractions to take you off course. It means staying focused on your goals, on your mission, and refusing to let anything stand in your way. It's easy to get sidetracked, to get caught up in the chaos of life, but relentless people don't let that happen. They stay focused, they stay determined, and they keep moving forward. Relentlessness requires an unbreakable belief in yourself. If you don't believe in your ability to achieve greatness, then you will never make it. Self-doubt is the enemy of progress. It's the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that you're not capable. Relentless people shut that voice down. They understand that self-doubt is natural, but they refuse to let it control them. They trust in their ability to figure things out, to learn, and to grow. They understand that greatness is not about being perfect from the start. It's about constantly improving and never giving up. There will be times when the road to greatness feels like an uphill battle, when you feel like you've hit a wall, when you think you can't go any further. But being relentless means pushing through, even when it feels impossible. It means refusing to quit, refusing to accept mediocrity, refusing to stop until you've reached your goal. Greatness is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to endure the struggle, to keep fighting even when they're exhausted, to keep going, even when everyone else is telling them to stop. The relentless mindset is one of persistence, determination, and an unwavering belief that you are capable of achieving greatness. Greatness is a choice. It's not something that happens by accident. It's something you have to decide to pursue with everything you've got. Relentless people make that choice every day. They decide that no matter what happens, they will not settle for anything less than their best. They make the decision to push through the pain, to stay focused on their goals, and to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. Greatness is something that you have to earn, and you earn it by being relentless in your pursuit of it. You earn it by refusing to settle for less, by refusing to stop, by refusing to give up on your dreams. Number 8, make sacrifices for your success. Success doesn't come without sacrifices. If you want to achieve something truly meaningful, you have to be ready to give up what others are not willing to part with. Sacrifice is the price you pay for greatness. Every success story is built on the foundation of sacrifices, whether it's time, energy, comfort, or even relationships. You can't have it all if you're not willing to let go of what's holding you back. The sacrifices you make today will determine the life you live tomorrow. The choices you make now will either propel you towards success or keep you stuck in mediocrity. The people who make it to the top are not the ones who took the easy route. They are the ones who sacrifice sleep, social events, and instant gratification for long-term success. They chose hard work over comfort, discipline over indulgence, and growth over staying the same. Sacrifice doesn't mean giving up everything. It means choosing what's most important and letting go of the rest. If you want to achieve greatness, you need to start saying no to distractions, to things that don't serve your purpose, and to the things that are keeping you from moving forward. Sacrifice requires discipline, and discipline is what separates the winners from the losers. Most people are willing to do the bare minimum to get by, but the truly successful are willing to do whatever it takes, even if it means making sacrifices. It's easy to get caught up in the present moment, to think about the things that bring you instant pleasure, but the successful understand that these momentary pleasures are fleeting, and the sacrifices they make now will lead to lasting rewards. They don't let themselves be distracted by temporary desires. They stay focused on their long-term vision and are willing to give up anything that gets in the way of that. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and making sacrifices often means giving up some of your time. Whether it's waking up early to work on your goals or working late into the night to finish a project, time is something that must be spent wisely. Success doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you make conscious decisions every day to spend your time on the things that matter most. Sacrificing your time may mean less leisure, less socializing, and less time for relaxation. But those who make that sacrifice reap the rewards later. They understand that time invested in their goals is never wasted. It's an investment in their future. Relationships are another area where sacrifice may be necessary. In order to build something meaningful, you may have to put in the work when others are relaxing. You might miss out on certain social events or activities, and you might have to let go of people who are not supportive of your vision. But the truth is, the people who are meant to be in your life will understand your commitment to your success. Sacrificing relationships that don't align with your goals might be difficult, but it's necessary for your growth. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who encourage you to pursue your dreams, and who support your journey. Those who truly care will respect your sacrifices because they understand your vision. The process of sacrifice is never easy, but it's essential for success. You'll face moments when you question whether it's worth it. You'll feel tired, frustrated, and discouraged. You'll look at others who seem to have it all and wonder why you can't take it easy too. But the truth is, the easy path never leads to greatness. The easy path leads to complacency, to mediocrity, to a life full of what-ifs and regrets. The successful understand that in order to reach the highest peaks, they must climb through the hardest terrain. They must be willing to sacrifice their comfort, their convenience, and their security in order to achieve their goals. Success isn't just about the sacrifices you make today. It's also about the sacrifices you make for the future. It's about having the foresight to see beyond the present moment, to understand that the choices you make now will shape your future. Every decision you make is a building block toward your success. The sacrifices you make today will lay the foundation for the life you want to create. It's easy to get caught up in the short term, but those who succeed keep their eyes on the bigger picture. They know that the sacrifices they make now are investments in the future they want to build. Another aspect of sacrifice is letting go of the fear of failure. Many people are afraid to sacrifice because they fear it might not pay off, that all their hard work might be for nothing. But this fear is what holds most people back. Successful people aren't afraid to fail. They are afraid of not trying. They understand that failure is part of the process, that every failure brings them one step closer to success. They don't let the fear of failure stop them from making the sacrifices that are necessary to reach their goals. They embrace the risk, knowing that without it, there is no growth. Sacrifice also means pushing through the pain. There will be days when you want to quit, when it feels like the sacrifices are too much to bear, and when you think about throwing in the towel. But in those moments, you have to remember why you started. You have to remind yourself that the pain you're feeling is temporary, but the rewards of your sacrifice will last a lifetime. The successful understand that the struggle is part of the journey. They don't shy away from the challenges, they lean into them. They know that pain is a sign that they are growing, that they are becoming stronger, that they are moving closer to their dreams. Sacrifice is about commitment. It's about being willing to do what most people aren't willing to do, for the rewards that most people won't ever see. It's about having the courage to put in the work, to stay focused on your vision, and to make the sacrifices necessary to achieve it. You won't always get immediate gratification, and the road to success won't always be easy, but the sacrifices you make today will determine your future. Success doesn't happen by chance. It happens because you're willing to make the hard choices, to give up the things that are holding you back, and to stay committed to your goals. Number 9, build momentum and keep pushing forward. Building momentum is one of the most powerful things you can do on the road to success. It's about starting small and making consistent progress, no matter how minor it may seem at first. The key is to get moving, even when the path ahead seems unclear or overwhelming. The hardest part is always the beginning. But once you take that first step, momentum begins to build, and the weight of inertia starts to lift. The more you push forward, the easier it becomes to keep going. Momentum doesn't happen overnight, but once you've started building it, it's unstoppable. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen as quickly as you want them to. You might feel like you're putting in the effort and not seeing the results. But that's the point where most people give up. They quit just before the momentum kicks in. Progress isn't linear. Some days will feel like a step backward, and others will feel like 2 steps forward. The key is to stay committed and keep pushing, even when the results are not immediate. Success takes time, and the longer you keep moving forward, the more the momentum will work in your favor. Momentum works best when it's consistent. It's not about doing everything in one day or forcing yourself to take giant leaps. Small actions, taken every day, add up over time. The more consistent you are, the more momentum you create. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill at first. It's slow, but as it picks up speed, it gains size and power. Your efforts will compound, and what seemed impossible at first will eventually become second nature. The small steps you take every day are what build the energy and the force you need to break through any barrier. When you build momentum, you stop overthinking. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect plan. Instead, you take action and adjust as you go. The truth is, you will never have all the answers at once. The journey isn't about having everything figured out. It's about taking that first step and continuing to move forward. The more action you take, the more confident you'll become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Every step forward makes the next one easier. And soon, the momentum you've built will carry you further than you ever imagined. The most successful people know the power of building momentum. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They create their own momentum through consistent action. They understand that results come from doing the work day in and day out without looking for shortcuts or quick fixes. Momentum is created by showing up, no matter how tired, how frustrated, or how unmotivated you feel. The real work happens when you push through those moments, and in doing so, you create a force that propels you forward. The more you push, the more energy you have to keep going. Building momentum also requires embracing the discomfort of progress. It's easy to stay stuck in your comfort zone, but nothing ever grows there. You have to push past the resistance that tries to keep you in the same place. Every time you face discomfort and keep moving forward, you strengthen your resolve. Momentum is about doing what others won't, even when it's hard. The more you push through those moments, the more you show yourself what you're capable of. You become stronger, more resilient, and more determined. Momentum thrives on challenges because overcoming obstacles fuels your drive to keep going. You'll face setbacks along the way, and that's okay. Everyone does. The key is to not let them break your momentum. Instead of allowing a failure to stop you, use it as a learning opportunity. Understand that setbacks are just a part of the journey, not the end of it. With momentum on your side, you can bounce back faster and more determined than before. The more you keep pushing forward, the less you let obstacles define you. Your commitment to keep going is what sets you apart. It's not enough to build momentum once and stop. To truly succeed, you need to keep pushing forward. Momentum isn't something you create and then forget about. It's a force that needs to be nurtured and maintained. You have to keep the pedal to the metal, even when things get difficult. Momentum is fragile. If you stop for too long or get complacent, it can slow down, and you'll have to start from scratch. The key is to keep the fire burning, to continue making progress, no matter how small it seems. As long as you're moving forward, you're creating momentum, and that's all that matters. One of the most powerful aspects of momentum is how it impacts your mindset. When you're in motion, you develop a sense of urgency. You don't have time to waste, and that urgency pushes you to keep moving forward. The more you accomplish, the more you feel the pull to keep going. Momentum breeds confidence. As you start to see results, no matter how small, you gain the belief that you can achieve anything. That belief is the fuel that keeps you going, even when things get tough. As you gain confidence, your momentum accelerates. Momentum also has a ripple effect. When you start seeing results from your efforts, it motivates you to keep pushing. But it doesn't stop with you. Your momentum will inspire others around you. People are drawn to those who are consistently moving forward. Your determination and drive will rub off on those around you, creating an environment of progress and achievement. Momentum is contagious. As you keep pushing forward, you'll find that others start to pick up their own momentum, and together, you can achieve far more than you could alone. There will be moments when you want to quit, when everything seems like too much, and when progress feels slow. But it's in those moments that you need to remind yourself of the power of momentum. Keep going. Even when it seems like nothing is happening, you're still building momentum. You're still moving forward, even if it's just an inch at a time. Momentum doesn't happen all at once, but with every step, you're getting closer to your goals. The most successful people know that the key to making real progress is to never stop. They understand that momentum isn't something that's created overnight. It's a process, a series of small actions compounded over time. But once you have momentum on your side, you become unstoppable. You start to realize that there's no limit to what you can achieve if you keep pushing forward. Every setback, every challenge, every failure becomes an opportunity to accelerate your momentum. Keep pushing, keep moving, and watch how far you can go. Number 10, stay hungry for progress. Staying hungry for progress is the key to continuous growth and success. It's about never getting complacent, no matter how far you've come or how much you've achieved. The moment you stop striving for more, you start to lose ground. Progress isn't something that happens once and then stops. It's a lifelong pursuit, and if you're not hungry for it, you're not moving forward. True success comes from a relentless desire to keep improving, to keep moving, and to keep pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. When you're hungry for progress, you recognize that every success is temporary. You celebrate your wins, but you never rest on your laurels. The hunger keeps you looking for the next challenge, the next opportunity to learn and grow. You understand that the moment you stop reaching for something bigger, you start to stagnate. Progress isn't about reaching the finish line. It's about constantly striving to be better, to do more, to achieve more. Being hungry for progress means not allowing your past accomplishments to define you. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking you've made it, but that's when progress slows down. The hunger keeps you humble, keeps you grounded, and pushes you to keep moving. The people who stay hungry understand that success is not a destination, it's a journey. They never let their past successes get in the way of their future potential. They always have a hunger for more because they know they can be better. Staying hungry for progress requires an unrelenting commitment to growth. It's about constantly looking for ways to improve, even in areas where you feel comfortable. Growth doesn't happen when you stay in your comfort zone. The hunger drives you to seek discomfort, to challenge yourself in new ways, and to step up when others are content with where they are. Those who stay hungry for progress never stop learning, never stop improving, and never stop striving for more. The hunger for progress doesn't just come from a desire for success. It comes from a deep desire for self-improvement. When you're truly hungry for progress, you're not just chasing external goals, you're focused on becoming the best version of yourself. The drive for progress is internal, a constant force that pushes you to be better every single day. This hunger is what keeps you motivated, even on the days when the results are slow or hard to see. It's the desire to be better than you were yesterday. And that hunger keeps you going, no matter the obstacles. Staying hungry for progress also means accepting that you'll face setbacks along the way. Progress is never a straight path. There will be days when you feel like you're not moving forward, or when it feels like the goals you've set are out of reach. But hunger for progress pushes you to keep going, even when things get tough. It's about resilience, persistence, and the ability to push through the hard times. The hunger keeps you from giving up, from quitting, and from settling for mediocrity. When you're hungry for progress, you make sacrifices to keep moving forward. Progress doesn't come without sacrifice. It requires time, effort, and sometimes giving up things that might be comfortable or enjoyable in the short term. But the hunger for progress makes these sacrifices worth it. It's about understanding that the discomfort you feel now will pay off in the long run. Every sacrifice you make today brings you one step closer to the person you want to be, to the goals you want to achieve. Being hungry for progress also means being open to feedback and criticism. The more you hunger for improvement, the more you seek out ways to do better. Feedback, even when it's harsh, is a tool for growth. The hungry never shy away from it. They embrace it, use it to fuel their desire to improve, and don't let it discourage them. They know that the more they grow, the closer they get to their true potential. When you stay hungry for progress, you seek out ways to improve in every area of your life, from your career to your relationships to your personal development. The hunger for progress also means not comparing yourself to others. It's easy to look at where others are and feel discouraged, but true hunger is about focusing on your own path, your own growth. Everyone's journey is different, and the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. The hunger for progress is not about keeping up with others. It's about making sure you're always moving forward at your own pace and in your own time. This hunger is personal, and it's about becoming the best version of yourself, not about beating anyone else. To stay hungry for progress, you need a clear vision of where you want to go. Without a clear vision, it's easy to lose focus and direction. The hunger for progress thrives when you have a strong sense of purpose, a reason to keep moving forward. You need to have a goal in mind, something that excites you and makes you want to push through the tough times. When you know where you're going, the hunger becomes a driving force that keeps you on track, no matter how difficult the journey might be. Those who stay hungry for progress don't wait for the right moment. They don't wait for everything to fall into place. They make things happen. The hunger for progress makes you take action, even when the timing isn't perfect or the conditions aren't ideal. You don't wait for the stars to align. You create your own opportunities and take advantage of every chance to move forward. The hunger keeps you in motion, keeps you striving, and ensures that you're always working towards something bigger and better. Lastly, staying hungry for progress is about understanding that the pursuit never ends. Once you reach one goal, you should set another. Once you've learned something, it's time to learn something new. Progress is not a destination. It's a way of life. The hunger keeps you always searching for the next opportunity to grow, always pushing you to take the next step. The most successful people are the ones who never stop being hungry for progress, and they are the ones who keep achieving more year after year. So, keep the hunger alive and let it drive you toward greater success, greater growth, and greater fulfillment.